guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday. Today is Sunday Fun Day, and we're gonna be doing a crock pot meal today. So this is ribs in the crock pot, which is so delicious. Like, I think this is actually better than just doing regular ribs on its own. So we're gonna do this today. It's super easy. I'm just gonna show you guys here. I already have my ribs laid out and washed and dried. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start putting the seasonings on. I'm just gonna do a little bit of salt, just a little bit of this Himalayan sea salt. It's pretty good, but you only need a little bit of that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is put on the Tony's. This one, I like to put quite a bit on there because I really want the ribs to be seasoned really well. And we're gonna rub this in, so I just put quite a bit of that on there. Then I have this steak and chop seasoning. It's really good to put on any meat, actually. So we're just gonna put some of this on here, get it seasoned up really good. And next we're just gonna do some regular black pepper. This just goes right on like this. We love black pepper over here, so we put quite a bit of that on also. And then this doesn't really give it a lot of flavor, it's just paprika. It just helps with the coloring and it helps brown it up. I don't know why, but paprika I put on everything because of that. So after this is done, we just rub it in kind of all over everything. We want it to be nice and like massaged in. This is where all the flavor goes, and we're gonna put some barbecue sauce on top of it. So we just want to make sure we get this nice and massaged in. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit of salt again and do the routine again. Tony's all over the back and steak chop seasoning. This one's almost done, so we're just gonna probably use up what we can out of here. And pepper, black pepper, all over. Okay, and the paprika. Here we go. This is so easy, you guys. Like, we used to grill these on the barbecue all the time, and somebody told me, hey, you need to try these ribs in the crock pot, and I was like, oh, they're probably going to be all mushy and kind of gross, but actually it makes them really tender. They're so delicious. And then we take it out and put it in the broiler for a little bit, and that actually makes it crisp up really nicely. So it actually is a win-win. They taste so good. I do have a little bit of liquid smoke I'm going to put on there. I almost forgot about that. Liquid smoke actually makes the huge difference because then it smells like, we'll put this on here. Oh, whoops, that was a lot. Okay, well, I forgot that it had an opening, a really big opening, so that's okay. We're just gonna rub it down here. Oops, my bad. I was thinking it had a smaller hole than that. That's okay, because we want it to be really seasoned. I like to use this little thing to put on it. It's just, it helps it get in there and it really distributes it really evenly. So we're just gonna do like so. This is Sweet Baby Ray's. We like this hickory brown sugar. It's really good. So we'll just kind of smooth it on there just so it's all over. We want it to be distributed evenly so that it cooks good like that. This is gonna help it get more flavor inside the crock pot. And then when it's done, I'll put a little bit more on there right before we throw it in the broiler. Okay, so this is my crock pot here. I love this crock pot. It's not only super cute, but it's really a good crock pot. It's by the Pioneer Woman. I got this at Walmart. It was on sale during the holiday season, and I just think it's so pretty. So it's fun cooking your food when it's pretty. All right, so you take this whole piece and you just want to put the meat side around the rim of the crock pot, just like that. That's gonna help it cook and crisp up. It actually does get a little more crisp as you cook it. And then I just like to put a little more sauce kind of on top. This is almost empty. Okay, we're gonna leave that upside down. There's still some in there. But then I'll just kind of rub the sauce around the meat like this. And it will make its own sauce. So I just put a little tiny bit of water in here. Let's see. Just a little bit, just to help it steam a little. So I just put a little tiny bit, like maybe a tablespoon, not very much, because it will make its own juice. You don't want them to be soupy, you don't want to have them stewed, you just want them to cook evenly, and that helps with that. Okay, so I think we're all done. I'm just going to go ahead and place the lid on and put this setting to, we're going to do high for an hour, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch it to low. Okay guys, I'm starting the macaroni and cheese here. Got the water boiling, and the macaroni and cheese I'm going to use is actually this Great Value Cheddar Havarti. It's so good. We used to use the Cracker Barrel mac and cheese. This is the exact same thing, and it's about $2.50 less. It's really, really good. These like new brands of the Walmart are like probably the best mac and cheese I've had. So we're gonna get this stirring and boiling. I'm only gonna boil these till al dente because I don't want them to be super mushy, because they are gonna cook a little bit. I'm going to make a sauce for it. So I'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, and while that's starting to boil, I'm actually gonna take out my ribs. Oh my gosh, you guys, they smell so good. They turned out really nice. Let me see if I can show you. And they made like a sauce. I can't. These are really good. Hope you guys can see that. It's all steamed up because it's delicious right now. It tastes so good. Okay, so we're gonna get those out onto here. It's always a little bit tricky getting these ribs out because they actually start to fall apart. They're so tender, which is what's happening right now. So they might come out in 2 pieces, which we're okay with that. Get one of these bones out. Oh my gosh, they smell so good. And that liquid smoke really makes a difference when you take them out. It smells like they've been on the grill. Okay, they're really hot. So I'm just gonna flip them over like that. Oh my gosh, they smell so good. So here is the point where we put more barbecue sauce on it. And we're gonna put them in, barbecue sauce is almost done. So we're gonna put them in the broiler just to finish them off. They're gonna be so good. Okay, put this on here. Probably not enough barbecue sauce. Normally I like to put a whole bunch on here, but it looks like that's almost gone. I didn't get any more at the store, so we're gonna use what we got here. See if I can, it's all in the little cracks. This looks so good. Oh my gosh, you guys, this smells really good. Put this on here like that. Okay, and so I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the broiler for about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how it is. We like our stuff to be like a little bit crispy on top, so a little bit charred. And so I probably will leave it in there closer to 7 minutes, but by that time our macaroni should be done. Okay guys, I just took the noodles out and drained them. I'm going to add some butter, and probably I just used about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. and just stir it around to loosen up the noodles. And once I get most of the butter melted here, I'm gonna go ahead and add the cheese sauce packet that the macaroni came with. Okay, now I've got my cheese sauce packet open. I'm just gonna put this in here. This one is the cheddar Havarti. They have so many flavors. One of them is a white cheddar black pepper, which is really good too. I'm gonna use that for a different dish. This one we really wanted to use just a regular macaroni and cheese, but this cheddar Havarti is so good. So once you get that in there, you just let the butter do its job and melt in with the cheese. This processed cheese takes a little while to kind of get melted. I'm gonna turn my burner on to low just to kind of heat things up. Because the macaroni is already hot, so I just like to turn it on low to get it doing its job here. I think I'm gonna check on my ribs while that's melting down. Oh yeah, that's how we like them, guys. The ribs, they're gonna be so delicious. I'm gonna come over here to cool on the counter. That's done. Okay. So that's starting to get melted. At this point, I just go ahead and add a little bit of heavy whipping cream, just to kind of give it a little bit of a creamier sauce here. And then I'm going to add just some regular milk. I just eyeball everything. You can do it how you like. This is gonna be really creamy at first, and it's gonna look like it's a little too creamy, but we're adding cheese also. And this cheese I like to use, I have 2 bags open right now. It's called queso quesadilla cheese. Can you see that? It's so good, and for some reason, I don't know if it's because it's actual quesadilla cheese, but it melts so good. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add the little bit that I have left here. We've opened 2 bags and currently it ain't used all of them. So we're just gonna dump that cheese in there. And that's what's gonna create the consistency that you want, is adding in this pre-shredded cheese. A lot of the times I like to just go ahead and shred my own cheese, but this actually works out so good, you guys, because it really gets the consistency that I like. I don't know what's up with this cheese. It's just so delicious. All right, so we gotta let that go here. And I know it looks super creamy, but believe me, this is gonna thicken up as it cooks. We got all this cheese in here. And we'll wait for that. I'm gonna turn off my broiler. And I'm gonna add a little seasoning salt. I'm gonna go in with the Tony's again. You don't really need, because it's really salty from the cheddar or the queso cheese, that I'm just gonna go ahead and put in a little seasoning salt and some garlic powder and some black pepper. That's just gonna give it a good flavor. It's not too much and it's not too salty. And we're just gonna let this stir and get really cheesy here. It's gonna take about 10 minutes or so. So we're gonna keep an eye on that and be right back. Okay guys, so the cheese is starting to come together. We're just gonna let this simmer on low for a little while and it's gonna blend all together. It's super cheesy. So we're gonna let that kind of cook down a little bit and it's gonna turn into a different consistency. This is why I did not boil the noodles completely. I left them al dente because it's still gonna continue to cook right now. So I'm just gonna put the lid on here and we're gonna wait for that. And I'm gonna get the ribs plated and we'll come back. So I decided to fry up some cabbage to go with dinner tonight. I was gonna make broccoli, but I had a cabbage that I was doing with something else, so I figured I might as well just use this because there's a couple of the people in the house will eat that. But I just put in a little bit of the olive oil, and then I'm going to put in just a little bit of bacon grease that I have left over, and I'm also going to do a little bit of butter here. Probably, actually, just use this whole thing. So we're going to get that started up hot, and there's a lot of cabbage in here, so I'm using enough. And use this. Okay guys, so once this starts to wilt down, then we're going to add a little bit of water in there just to kind of steam it, but we're not going to put a lid on it. We're just going to let it do its magic, cook down, and that takes a few minutes. We've got, again, a little bit of olive oil in here, a little bacon grease, and some butter. So that we're going to let go for maybe about 5 more minutes. And then we'll add some water into it. Okay guys, I'm not using onions in this one today, but I am gonna just put a little bit of minced garlic in here just to kind of give it a little more flavor. I already am going to use garlic powder, but the fresh garlic tastes so much better in here. So I'm just gonna kind of get that incorporated in here. Garlic tends to burn fast, so I add that a little bit more towards the end since they're just minced garlic. So I'm going to add that in here. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of seasoned salt. This is kind of salty with the bacon grease, and I actually used a salted butter instead, so that just controls the salt a little bit. So I don't have to put so much in there. Pisces, get out. Pisces is always looking for food. Always trying to sneak up on me. Alright, so we're going to let that go maybe about another minute or two, and then I'll probably add the water. Okay guys, this has been cooking for a couple minutes. I think I'm just going to add maybe about 1/4 a cup, or maybe just a little bit less of water. I'm going to kind of gauge it and see how it goes, because this is a smaller head of cabbage, so it really doesn't need a whole lot of water to cook down. It's probably good. So I ended up not even using a whole 1/4 a cup, just a little bit, and we're going to let that cook down here. We don't want a mushy cabbage. We want it to cook through, but we don't want it to be like all mushy in there. We're just going to let it cook down and get soft, but we still want a little bit of a bite to it. Okay, this has been cooking down. It's starting to now fry. This is going to be ready in just a couple minutes. I added just a little bit more black pepper to it, and that seasoned salt really gave it some nice color and flavor. And not everybody in the house eats cabbage, so I just made a little bit for the people who do eat it. I tasted it, and it tastes really, really good. So we're going to go with that. I'm just going to kind of let it crisp up a little bit here. And that will be ready, and then we'll plate our food. Okay guys, here's the plated finished version of everybody's food. Everybody eats a little bit different in the house, so I have everybody's plated up to according how they eat. But this is a easy Sunday fun day meal, and it takes, all in all, it does take all day to cook the ribs, but to prepare the macaroni and cheese and the cabbage, it didn't take that long. So it's pretty quick and easy, and I hope you all enjoy your Sunday, ready for another great week. Bye guys, thanks for watching.